Hello, my friends. Jacob is here one more time, fresh from the football field where Ethan was tearing some flags. Yeah, it was a good day at the park today. But while I was there, I thought to myself, I share so much stuff on Twitter. Oh, and if you're not following me on Twitter, there you go, at JacobIsrael71. Yeah, you can follow me there because I share a lot of stuff. And then it ends up making its way to the show. But I really felt like we needed to talk about the Kentucky Derby, baby. You know why? Because Mage won the race. Number 8. Yeah, number 8. Like the Ouroboros. Like all of those videos that I did about the number 8. You know, the snake or the dragon eating its own tail. The Meta logo, which means the place of the dead. Very interesting. You know what's even more interesting and just kind of goofy is the fact that I, for whatever reason, decided like the day before the big race, Run for the Roses, right? We have a lot of roses going on. Of course, the event was kind of like hot off of the presses with me and like a donut, and because we're into all that stuff. Well, it was going down on the same day as the Coronation. And if you're watching, and if you're not, I hope that you subscribe to the show and you go back and you check out my other shows. I'm on this little journey right now trying to find a fragment of the Stone of Destiny. And I actually, I gotta tell you, you gotta see what happens in the end. It's gonna blow your mind. It shocked me. It's gonna be shocking to you too. And it's very significant. But the Kentucky Derby going down at the same time, same day, with the logo, which looks like the Omega sign. Omega, oh my God. Which I've been talking about, like, oh my God, right? Which means the end. We just had the Omega block all over the United States, this weather pattern. Elon Musk wearing the Omega shirt. It's about the end. The end. The end of a corrupt, terrible system. And I say to that, thank God, because things are moving and shaking. And we've been biding our time for a long time, and now it's going to be kicked into high gear. How do I know this? Well, because I have faith that God's going to make things better while the world gets worse. For the people that are serving him, I have a belief, a strong belief that there is a reason for it all. It's almost like I look at these things and messages are like downloaded to me or something, right? I did a little bit digging into the Kentucky Derby. This is going to freak you out probably a little bit. The favorite to win the race was a horse named Forte. Like Forte, I am so fuerte, I'm strong, strength, Forte. Well, Forte had a little bit of a problem, had a bruised heel, bruised foot, couldn't compete, so they scratched the top horse from the race, took it out. Forte, strength. And I said, I bet there's more to the story to that. There's got to be a very symbolic and spiritual reason that this is something that I'm looking into, so I do. I look into Forte. Because, see, what I wrote on Twitter was Forte is the 6th. Get that? Number 6, right? The number of man. 6 Northern Hemisphere crop sired by a horse named Violence. Isn't it interesting? Until the end, until the Omega, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence. Forte, the strength, the son of violence, the strength of violence, can't compete anymore because it bruised its heel, its foot, which is straight from the book of Genesis. That's what I'm thinking. That's what goes on in my mind, because I look at life and I think this is wonderful and it's beautiful. And of course, God says, you look at the world, why don't you look? Why don't you see what's happening? Jesus says you could tell the signs by the weather. Maybe you should look at the world and understand what's going on. So I wrote, oh my God, like Omega. The Kentucky Derby, 149 favorite. Forte is out because of a bruised heel. Forte was the 6th horse sired by Violence. And I will put, this is from the book of Genesis, enmity between you and the woman, between your seed and her seed. He will crush your head, and you will bruise his foot, his heel. It's interesting. It's from Genesis 3:15. So I thought to myself, I got to look deeper into this Kentucky Derby. And why not? I did it with the Super Bowl, and I did it with the last 2 Super Bowls. Why not try to take a stab at I don't know, predicting a winner? And I know nothing about horse racing. So of course, I just Google who's racing in the event, and I got a list. The problem is the list was short. I was missing a bunch of other horses. I didn't know like 20 horses or something competed in this thing. What I did know was that like 7 horses have passed away. Like 7 horses in like 7 days at the Churchill Downs. That's where they raced. It's just also symbolic. Like the church hill, like the church on the high hill, the pride of the church down, Churchill Downs. I mean, maybe there's nothing to it, but I look at it and I say, well, I just see some symbolism here. I see some spiritual, I don't know, revelation that we can maybe glean from it. So I keep digging. So I look at the horses and I say, oh, the 2 that are going to win, I think to myself, I say, oh, it's going to be this one and this one. Reincarnate, and it's going to be King Russell. Because I thought King Russell would be a symbol of the system. And I also thought reincarnate would be nice because it could be like Christ coming into the world. But I only saw like half of the list of the horses. I missed a lot of them. So like the day of the race, someone tweets out, somebody says Angel of the Empire is going to win. And I was like, oh no. Had I known that, I would have said Angel of the Empire is going to win. Then the race starts, and I'm, doing something I didn't know because it's only like 2 minutes. They say it's the best 2 minutes in sports. And I hear Danielle saying the race started, and I came over and I start filming, right? Because I want to see this race. And as I'm filming and as I'm watching this, I find out there's a horse named Mage. And immediately I think to myself, MAGA, because that's what Mage is. A mage, like Merlin, right? Right? We're on this adventure. A sorcerer, a wizard, mage, MAGA, same thing. Simon Magus. And it's the number 8. So as I'm actually recording this thing, I said a naughty word. I shared this on Twitter of Mage winning the race, and I had I had the F word in it. I do swear sometimes. I'm 50. I'm going to be 52 on June 11th, right? I'm a grown man. I don't swear a lot, but and I definitely wouldn't do it here because what's the point, right? But I mean, I do things, and I said, oh, F word. I said I should have known that this would be the one, but I didn't know. Number 8, the Ouroboros. Oh, should have known this. I didn't know. But here we have it, Mage. The horse's name is Mage. So here we have Forte going out with a bruised heel, right? Symbolic. We have the fact that the actual the jockey of this horse, like every other horse that he ever jockeyed, was very symbolic. He was he rode Shaman's Ghost, right? Didn't we just talk about the shaman? So here you got the jockey riding Shaman's Ghost, and you got the jockey riding Cloud Computing, and you got the jockey riding Bellamy Road. Very interesting to me. Javier Castellano, 45-year-old rider. I guess when it's horse racing, it doesn't matter if you're older or something. He's a second-generation jockey. His family, they're actually in the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame. In 2017, they were inducted. But Javier Castellano, very excited because he won the race. Mage, MAGA, number 8, the Ouroboros, Meta. All of this I find incredibly interesting. Almost as interesting as, and you should watch this, my next video, part 2 of the Stone of Destiny show. You should watch it because, I'm going to get into a lot of stuff about the coronation and everything else while we're going on this little journey, this little adventure. I just wanted to take you along on something like we'll say a quest. We should all have quests, shouldn't we? We should all kind of dig a little bit deeper and dream a little bit bigger and step out of our comfort zone now and then to just achieve something that seems silly, seems implausible. But there's such a great lesson that you're going to find at the end of this series when I'm done. So, but one of the things, of course, that I posted on Twitter recently was about the coronation, which took place. And Nicola on Twitter posted out that it was 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days from the Queen's funeral. So I was like, well, of course, that's something that I wouldn't have. So I retweeted his tweet, and of course, some people are like, that's kind of silly because we don't judge things that way. It would be more like 7 months and whatever. But I'm like, but hang on a second. It is 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days. That's quite peculiar. It's also quite peculiar that the horse got spooked, and of course that there was a Grim Reaper. All it is happening at the same day that a sorcerer wins the Kentucky Derby with that magic number 8. The magic number 8, the magic 8 ball. Which funny because mystical mind on Twitter shared a picture of my tweet about Mage the sorcerer MAGA winning, and then Elon's tweet, which said, feeling nostalgic, and he had like a meme of like somebody shaking the magic 8 ball saying, magic 8 ball, am I stupid? And then the second part of it was this, it was like looking into a bowling ball. But I thought it was interesting. Magic and 8, Mage and 8. Right after, was like 13 minutes after I posted my tweet. So if you're watching Elon, I say to you, do something, please, if you can. I don't know if this bothers you people. This is something that's been weighing heavy on my heart. People are posting things that are just so horrific. I've seen people get shot in the head. I've seen people get murdered. I've seen people, all of these things. Today, there was a news organization that I follow because they do a good job. But they shared a video of a bunch of migrants getting mowed down. Somebody like ran them down. And it looked like it was done on purpose. I didn't know what I was doing. As I'm scrolling through the feed, next thing you know, I'm looking at people being hit by a car, and then I'm seeing the aftermath of it with all of the I mean, it's just, I don't want to see, a shooter's head blown open. And I don't understand how we as a society have gotten to a place where that's acceptable to share. It just doesn't seem right. I mean, they're illegal. They call those things snuff films, right? They're illegal. You can't like films. I mean, I know that they're supposedly out there somewhere, but you can't like film people killing people and then, distributing that so people can get. Now it's just just rampant and free. There's gotta be a way to handle this. I'm not for censorship, right? I'm not for censorship. I'm also not for encouraging people to share murder on a huge platform where people can see it, like maybe blurred out or whatever. But I mean, it's just like at some point, we need to pull back the reins a little bit, don't you think? You got to tell me in the comment section if you think, because right now this witchcraft thing that's going on, everything's witchcraft, right? Everything's, even the owner of the horse and the people that are connected, they have the mage hat on with the little magic wand. Even real Kim Shady, like at Jacobed me on that because she probably saw my tweet like right when the horse race was over. I put that out first, by the way. Just want to let you know. I don't think anybody else put it out. I think I was quick. I knew. I wish I knew Mage was winning the race. Of course, number 8. Oh well, that's what you get for betting $25 on King Russell and reincarnate. Yeah, I went to OTB with Dan. I had to talk her into it because we're not big gamblers, right? But I said, you know what? We got to do this. We didn't do it with the last 2 Super Bowls. We got to do it now. Who knows? I'm not encouraging anyone to do that either. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I lost some money. Not a lot of money. Obviously not, because, that would be foolish. Keep looking, people. Keep digging. This stuff, God is revealing so much to us today. It's just incredible. This is an incredible time to be alive. I would like to see all of you live better lives. Try to be fuller. Try to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Like, have some fun and get out in the sun. Dan and I were just at flag football. That's the Dan did. She's so beautiful. And I love her so much. She's my best friend. I hope that you have a best friend. And if you don't, I can be your friend, right? This is because you are my friends, and I'm grateful for you. So do me a favor, will you? Get yourself some of the merch. If you want to help the channel out, you get God's Champion. It's my fave, right? God's Champion, or I Am a Witness, or Buckle Up. Any of the things, all the links are in the description below. Get yourself a copy of The Calling on Amazon. It's doing very well. Thank you. And if you've read it, will you leave me a review? I'm almost at 1,000 reviews for just the paperback. I mean, I know that there's probably a lot more than that for, the hardcover, and then of course in other countries. But it would be really cool to see over 1,000 reviews. So if you've read it already and you got it from Amazon, do me a favor, tell everybody, because it's like a 5-star rating. Everybody loves this book, and I'm so grateful because I've never written a book before. That was the only one. It's just the only book I've written, and I only started it when I was 18. So it's just my life's work. No big deal. No big whoop. All right, I love each and every one of you. You get out of here and stay tuned, because part 2 of the Stone of Destiny quest is coming. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
September 10th. Mars hangs closer to the Earth than it has in 6,000 years. Like the light that led men from the East to a child in a manger, it could well be a sign of good things to come. Thomas James shall be his name. The world will change because of him. In the small town of Bethel, in a time not unlike our own, a child with a great purpose is born. Years later, alienated by his peers and abused, Thomas suffers a devastating loss. When it appears he has nothing left to live for in the world, this is when his true calling begins. While trying to escape the sinister powers that be, a terrifying vision haunts him. Miraculous events seem to follow the peculiar young man as he struggles to come to terms with what he was born to do. The stage is set. The time is at hand. The truth will rise and a revolution will begin. The startling revelation of who Thomas James is, truly, will change the lives of those around him and set off a chain of events long ago foretold. There is more to this novel than one might think. Inside these pages hides a treasure just waiting to be discovered. So if you've ever wondered if there's more to life, or why it is we suffer, then this story will not only captivate you, it may just open your eyes to a truth that could set you free. Find out what is in us all that makes us heed the calling.